can see, ladies and gentlemen, the rules are slightly different because we had a few extra racers in this tournament. But we are finally here at the Grand Finals. Welcome to day number 10. Let's see which first group of 3 it will be. It contains James Ironbeard, Craigster Sr., and Essa Khan. Now, if you didn't see the rules at the beginning, feel free to go back and pause to read if needed. But all 3 of these racers, while not undefeated, they each got a sweep. In fact, through each day of the competition leading up to here, we had at least one person in each video that managed to get a sweep, if nothing else. And right now, in this group here, it is Essa Khan who has the lead, while James Ironbeard and Craigster Sr. are fighting for second. And I believe it was Craigster Sr. who got second place. Now, unfortunately, because there's only 3 people racing, that means only one of them will move on instead of 2. And so far, it is in Essa Khan's favor. As we begin race number 2, they're staying side by side. Let's see what happens as they go around the first bend where the lanes will split. And it's Craigster Sr. on his own back there, while Essa Khan is currently holding on to the lead, but it is not an easy one to hold on to, as Craigster Sr. is not far behind. The final turn, here we go, but it will be Essa Khan with another victory, and they do finish under 15 seconds. The fastest time currently was 9/10 of a second faster at 14:03, currently held by Hawk Twa. But it's looking pretty good for Essa Khan. If they get one more win, they are automatically progressing to the Ultimate Finals, I believe. And they will be the only one in this group to do so. So far, they're actually in second, but they quickly overtake Craigster Sr. for the lead. But Craigster Sr. is not happy about it. He seems to actually be closing the gap this time around. But not very quickly, and it's not going to be enough as Essa Khan grabs that third win. So Essa will be moving on to the next phase. I believe this next race will just be a victory lap for Essa Khan. But props to Craigster Sr. and James Ironbeard, who got this far. And now for the second group, which contains Giorgio, Arlo, and Sam Hall. All 3 worked very hard to get here, and Sam Hall was the most recent of these 3 to have appeared in the tournament, and they did pretty well for themselves. In fact, they're doing relatively well right now, except Arlo is actually in front of them. Can Sam Hall catch Arlo after going around the final bend? It doesn't look like they will. Arlo is getting close to the finish line. I think he still managed to get the win. But Sam Hall made it very, very close. I think Arlo was trying to go for a nose block, but he did it way too early. But lucky for him, he still managed to get the victory. So far, none of our undefeated racers have appeared yet, and there's only been 3 of them going into the Grand Finals. And I believe they were Numbskull, Flip Gambino, and Dusty Miles. Even Hawk Twa, who has the fastest time in this tournament so far, was not able to do it because one of their races caused them to fly over the edge of the track. But now Arlo actually has a bigger lead, albeit not much bigger, and they get a second win, one more, and they will be declared the winner. But this is a little bit closer than some of the races we've seen in recent memory. Arlo is just one victory away. Can they do it? I don't know if they'll just do 3 races every time, or just stop at 3 when they're already guaranteed to win. And so far, it's looking good for Arlo as they are in front of the others. Sam Hall is looking to close the gap alongside Giorgio. But Arlo is keeping that lead a good distance And they aren't trying to do anything fancy this time, and they grab that third win, so Arlo is your victor in this group. That being said, some racers have finished about a full second faster than him, so he still has his work cut out for him. So now for our third group. And that third group contains Reinhold Ford, Chase Family, and Numbskull. Chase Family was a surprising progressor in this tournament, as it looked like they may or may not at some point, but they snuck it through. But they are here with Numbskull, one of the faster racers we have in this tournament, and one of the only three who have not lost a race yet, and I'm sure Numbskull would like to keep that going as long as possible. And it looks like they will, because they have left the other two in the dust, but he does go sideways. Here comes Chase Family, but he wound up bumping into the back of Numbskull instead, so Numbskull will remain undefeated for now. But that was dangerously close. Numbskull and Hawktois can have sometimes moved so fast that when they go down that hill, they sometimes lose control. And as I've mentioned before, that can be extremely dangerous in some of these last races when you're going up against some of the fastest competition in this tournament that it has to offer. Now Numbskull does have the lead again, but considering how close that last race was, don't count anybody out just yet. Can he stay on the ground? He does. He does hit the wall slightly, but he grabs the win anyway. And Numbskull remains undefeated still. One more race and he will continue to the next phase, keeping that honor. But if there's one thing we know for sure is that Chase Family and Brian Oldford are absolute fighters, as they had to fight tooth and nail to get here. And now they just happen to be going up against Numbskull. It does seem to be a little bit closer up until this point. Numbskull actually popped loose for just a moment. Will Chase Family be able to take advantage of this opportunity? So far they haven't, but Numbskull managed to go a little bit slower going down that hill again. But he does grab the third win, remains undefeated, and he will move on. So 3 spots have filled. And we have at least one more day of Grand Finals before the final phase. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you all for day number 11.